The camera caught something very unusual with the babysitter unknowing to her. During the day, Hannah looked like the kind of babysitter parents brag about. Every afternoon in their Brooklyn apartment, she sat on the living room floor with little 3-year-old Lily on her lap, reading picture books in silly voices that made the toddler giggle. Hannah braided Lily's hair with pink ribbons, danced around the kitchen, baked tiny chocolate chip cookies, always smiling, always warm, always patient. Whenever Mark or Emily walked in, they'd find Hannah laughing with their daughter like she was part of the family. But when no one was watching, Hannah was different. Mark didn't see it at first. Emily didn't either. But the camera did. Because the moment Lily fell asleep, Hannah's smile disappeared like someone flipped a switch. Her shoulders dropped. Her hands trembled. Her breathing turned shallow and fast. And her eyes looked like she was scared of something no one else could see. Sometimes she sat in the dark with her back pressed to the wall. Sometimes she whispered into her hands. Sometimes she just stared at the crib like she was waiting for something terrible to happen. And one night, the camera caught something that made Mark bolt upright in bed and sprint to the nursery at 2 a.m. The babysitter they trusted with their child, the one they thought was perfect, was whispering to the crib with tears on her face. "Please not again," she said. "Please don't take her." That one sentence flipped their entire world upside down. 2 weeks earlier, life was chaotic but normal for the Johnsons. Mark worked long construction hours in Manhattan. Emily worked unpredictable night shifts at a hospital in downtown Brooklyn. They needed a babysitter, someone consistent, reliable, someone Lily would love. And then came Hannah, 22, nearly glowing with good energy. Her references were perfect, her personality warm, her patience endless. Lily attached to her like glue. Emily adored her. Mark didn't trust easily, but even he let his guard down. Hannah became a piece of their family so fast it should have been suspicious. But they were too grateful, too tired, too desperate for help. And for a while, Hannah really was perfect. But soon, little cracks appeared in her perfect exterior. One day, Emily came home early and found Hannah sitting on the couch, staring blankly at the wall. No TV, no phone, no movement, just staring. The moment Emily stepped inside, Hannah jolted and smiled like she'd been caught doing something wrong. Another night, Mark heard a door slam upstairs. When he checked, Hannah told him she just bumped into it. But the way she said it, fast, shaky, didn't match her usual calm. There were other signs. The trembling hands. The forced smiles. The moments Hannah seemed almost dazed. But what finally pushed Mark over the edge was the afternoon he came home early and found Lily coloring on the rug, while Hannah sat inches away, totally unresponsive. Eyes unfocused. Breathing quick. Hands gripping her knees like she was grounding herself. "Hannah," Mark said softly. She snapped out of it with a gasp so sharp it made him step back. I'm just tired," she whispered. But her hands wouldn't stop shaking. That night, Mark insisted they install an extra camera in the nursery. He told Emily it was for Lily's safety. But deep down, he was watching Hannah. The first few nights were boring. Hannah read bedtime stories, tucked Lily in, checked the windows. Then she left. But on the fourth night, everything changed. At 1:17 a.m., Hannah quietly re-entered the nursery. She wasn't supposed to be awake. She wasn't supposed to be anywhere near Lily. She sat on the floor and wrapped her arms around herself. Her whole body shook. Then she started whispering, soft at first, then panicked. No, please not again." She covered her ears like she was blocking out something loud. And then, she turned to the crib like someone had called her name. "Please don't take her," she begged. Mark shot upright in bed so fast he nearly threw his phone. He grabbed his keys. He didn't know what he'd find when he got home. He didn't want to think about it. He burst into the apartment, sprinted to the nursery, and stopped dead. Hannah wasn't hurting Lily. She was sitting beside the crib, fast asleep, head leaning against the rail, face streaked with tears. Lily snored softly in her blanket, completely safe. Emily arrived seconds later, out of breath, terrified. Mark whispered, "We need to talk to her." They waited until morning. Hannah arrived with her usual sunshine smile, but her eyes were tired. Hollow. They invited her to sit down at the kitchen table. Emily spoke gently. "Hannah, we saw the footage from last night." Hannah froze. Her smile collapsed. Her breath caught. Her fingers twisted in her sweater like she was bracing for impact. I can explain," she whispered. And then her entire facade broke. Hannah told them about her little sister, a story she had never shared with anyone outside her family. When Hannah was 16, she'd been watching her baby sister alone. It was supposed to be a normal night. They played, laughed, watched cartoons. But later that night, her sister stopped breathing out of nowhere. Something sudden, medical, unpredictable. Hannah called 911, did everything right. But it wasn't enough. Her family never blamed her. But Hannah blamed herself. The trauma never left. She hid it from everyone. She kept babysitting because she wanted to fix what happened, to feel safe around children again, to prove she wasn't cursed. But the nighttime was the worst. Every time a child slept, her brain replayed the moment she lost her sister. She checked cribs obsessively. She woke up from nightmares. She dissociated under stress, lost time, drifted away, stared into nothing. And that night, in the nursery, she wasn't seeing Lily. She was seeing her sister. "I swear I would never hurt Lily," she cried. "I love her. I don't know how to stop being scared. Mark and Emily sat in stunned silence. Hannah wasn't dangerous. She was drowning. And she'd been drowning alone for 6 years. They didn't fire her. They helped her. Emily found her a trauma-specialized therapist in Lower Manhattan. Mark adjusted his work schedule, so Hannah wasn't alone during nap times. They offered her paid time off, gave her room to breathe, encouraged her to heal instead of hide. For the first time since she was 16, Hannah wasn't pretending anymore. The night terrors faded. The panic attacks slowed. She learned coping tools, grounding techniques, healthy boundaries. She started smiling real smiles, ones that reached her eyes. 3 months later, Hannah sat on the living room floor with Lily again. Not out of obligation. Not because she was trying to rewrite her past, but because she finally felt safe. "Thank you," she said to Mark and Emily, "for giving me a chance, for seeing me." Emily squeezed her shoulder. "We all break sometimes. Nobody should have to do it alone." The camera didn't expose a monster. It revealed a wounded girl who had been fighting a silent war for years. And instead of treating her like a threat, they chose compassion. And compassion saved her life. Subscribe for more stories where secrets are revealed.